Okay, I hope you don't mind, but I've decided to spare you my trials and tribulations getting back to Three-Eye Rock. Well, I'm here now, and we're ready to get back on this. Stand in the middle, blow the flute, and enter the 6th palace. This is our last stop before the end game begins. So we just go in, like we did before, ride the elevator down all the way, ignore those two side roads up there, they mean nothing. And here I'm actually going to use my Reflect spell because I'm tired of dealing with these Wizzrobes. Fortunately, this is the last time I'll have to do so in this palace. It also helps dealing with these Doom Knockers. And right here is a blue iron knuckle. We can just push him into this pit so we don't have to fight him completely. Now we fall in the hole, go down one more level, and hop off here. Go through the door, and here's another blue iron knuckle for you. Yeah, it doesn't get much better than this, does it? Unfortunately, you just jump right over him. Now the fun really begins. We got tricky jumps, we got dragon heads, and we got Muse. Oh man, what a combination. If you can get through this without falling in the lava, you're doing pretty good. And let these guys suicide. And break through these blocks. The reason you can't just fly across as a fairy. And what do you know? More Wizzrobes. Turn on the Reflect spell just in case. Wizzrobes and Iron Knuckles. Sounds like the name of a third-party NES game. An unlicensed one, at that. And here's where we need the fairy spell. Part 1. There is no way anybody can jump across this. It covers almost the entire screen. You'll need it one more time as well. And now we come to here, where we have Stalfoses and Moas and an elevator you should ignore. You don't really need to know about that elevator for right now. However, if you screw up ahead, you will need it. Anyway, now we come to this point, and I'm going to be attacked by a mounted Iron Knuckle. This is the 3rd and final Iron Knuckle you'll have to fight. Or mounted variety. Fortunately, he's just as easy to deal with, or just as hard to deal with, depending on your perspective, as he ever was. So let's just get rid of this guy. Some jumping stabs will... And away he goes. Grab that key, we don't really need it. And continue going to the right. Okay, fun time begins. You see this little hole right here? Make sure you're on the fairy spell. Fall down that hole. Now, really quick, pause and cast a fairy spell before you disappear. Because that's the only way you're going to get into the boss chamber. And across you go. Now, I gotta warn you, I died a lot here. I'm going to abuse save states at this point. It's really the best thing I can do. First I'm going to cast Shield, so make sure I have enough life for this. And, yeah, you gotta deal with lava in the boss chamber. And here he is. This is the 6th boss. It's probably the trickiest boss in the entire game. It's not that he's actually difficult, but he does that a lot, and I screwed up my save state there. Fortunately, I had lives to spare, and oops! Had a little screw up there with the save states, but I'll get this fixed. There we go. Now we're set. As I said, the dragon, Barba, is the 6th and final boss of the regular palaces. He's not tough to deal with in and of himself. However, as you've already seen, knocking him into the he can knock you into the lava something fierce if you're not careful. And as you'll see I'm not very careful at first here. He can come up out of any of these 3 holes, and you can hit him in the head. I recommend using the upward thrust. But again, it's the timing, you have to get the timing pretty much just right, or that can happen to you. Okay. Restore from that last save point, or last save state, and let's try this again. Upper thrust under the chin, and die. Okay. Take 4, or whatever we're on. Barba, upper thrust. Yes. Ooh! Again. Take 5. This does... I do abuse save states rather badly at this point, because this guy is just... Alright, eventually I've just had enough. And I'm just gonna abuse save states like I haven't abused them before in this series. And just... like, every time he goes down, I'm gonna hit the save state. Not yet, but... maybe this time is the time I got him. You see, usually he goes into one of the second or third lava pits there. Oh! Yeah! My jumping stinks sometimes. It's a little problem with lag when I'm trying to record these videos. It causes the emulator to stutter a little bit. And there we go. I just decide every time I score a hit, I'm gonna save state. See? Yeah. So I don't have to keep dealing with that. You can get about 2 hits per time he comes up for air. Usually. Just hit him under the chin, then jump out of the way of his fireballs. In theory, he's not too difficult. The problem is dodging his fireballs and staying out of the lava yourself. That is pretty tricky, but as like all the others before him, he will go down, you'll give you a key, you'll put the gem in the statue, and at this point, you are done! You have completed all 6 regular palaces. That means there is just 1 more to go. And I'll just hang around here and let it fill up for you. Anytime now. Yeah, there we go. Doesn't matter, just pick anything. You get the 1-up for that. You leave the palace, and you've got diamond rocks now. We're done. In our next video, we are going to take on the Great Palace, or at least the road to the Great Palace, which is an adventure all unto its own.